My name is Jennifer Ong. I am the founder and CEO of Hapa Group. We've been in the hospitality, F&B and tourism industry for the last 26 years. The reason why I am doing this video today is to represent the hospitality, F&B and tourism industry, and particularly F&B industry, to be their voice. I have taken the liberty to do a press release, as you can see here. And we issued this press release a few days ago, together with a list of collective requests from all the F&B owners and operators here in Malaysia. It's got a whole list of what is needed from the government and authorities in terms of relief. If you can see, I have actually received this chart this morning. Yeah, I can just show you this. The restaurant industry is collapsing. And I repeat, the restaurant industry is collapsing. The F&B industry is collapsing. And until and unless we do something to help these industry players to continue, we're going to lose a lot of jobs. You're talking about millions. And these F&B industry are mainly SMEs. We're not getting enough of help. We're not getting enough of support. We're not getting enough of our voices heard for what is needed right now in order to sustain this very important industry, because it contributes so much to our GDP. I think at this time, what's really important is for all of us to look at how do we save Malaysia? How do we save the businesses here in Malaysia? Because the impact of these businesses collapsing is really, truly significant. And as what we're doing as the founder of Hapa, I'm doing whatever we can and whatever it takes for us to make our voices heard. We have written to 57 media platforms to have our voices heard. And so far we have gotten many support of our members, our customers, industry players, to give us the support in terms of getting our voices heard, in terms of giving us all the collective data, giving us the information that we need in order for us to put forth to our government for them to consider stepping in now, immediately. We have to act fast. You know, I really would like to end this video by saying that we all know that it's really important as business leaders to be able to know how to manage crisis. And business leaders doesn't just come from business owners of SMEs. It comes from our country as well. You know, our country leaders, our company leaders, our home leaders. Yeah, as parents, as parents to our family, we need to be able to know how do we provide for our company staff as well as provide for our children and our family at home. It's a chain reaction. If we don't do something right now, you're going to see a lot of business closures in Malaysia, and it will be too late to revive any. Thank you for listening.
Hi, good evening. Thank you, Jen. If the movement is extended, it's going to cause us quite a bit actually, because first and foremost is the rentals, which the landlords have not come down with. Not much people have spoken about it, just a few of them. Not many are very interested in even listening to it. The second part is the staff. Many of them who are with the company for a very long time. It's not that you can just call it quits, shut the door and say it's over. What happens to all of them? People who have been working with you for a very long time, people who have trusted you, even in this difficult situation for almost a week now, with having quite a bit of foreign staff working for you. It's about taking care of them, giving them proper meals, seeing that wherever they are staying, places are taken care, the staff houses are taken care, the food sent to them on time. I don't think this will be possible if it's going to be extended for another few more weeks, actually, it's going to be a very, very difficult situation. People like us, it's an industry, as I always said in many of my interviews and everything, KL is a very small place. It's not that everyone who's doing business is making profits. Some are doing business just for the name. Some are doing business to keep the business running. So it's difficult, big organizations, or we don't call ourselves big organizations, but I would say as an organization, a buffer is almost 1.5 months to 2 months to keep your flow of cash there. But if the flow of cash is not enough, because you have to pay your rentals, salaries, suppliers, I don't think we are in a situation where we could say that we are safe. I would say that it's going to be very, very difficult if the restricted movement is continued for another 2 weeks. Actually, it's going to be a very, very sad situation for many, I would say, even for myself. Even though we have quite a few outlets, it's not going to be easy for anyone. It's I would call it a disaster in the making, actually.
Good evening, I'm David Gurupatham. I'm the legal advisor and strategist for HAPA. Now, we note that there is also a worldwide economic recession, and our GDP is likely to drop between 0.8 to 2%. With the low ringgit as well, it's a double whammy for the industry. We're talking about the hospitality industries especially. The government perhaps needs to look at some measures whereby insofar as creating liquidity in the lower end of the market, and to make sure that liquidity is circulated around, and that will certainly help the retail F&B and especially F&B industry. So there are a lot of concerns that they have, and I hope that these concerns will be addressed when the government announces the stimulus package 2. There are going to be inevitably a lot of businesses that are going to close down, people are going to go into bankruptcy, and a lot of workers are going to be laid off. We need to have a plan, and I hope that the authorities will engage with voices like HAPA, so that we can bring those concerns out and give some of our input as to how we can recover from this as quickly as possible and put Malaysia back on track.
Hi, my name is Dylan. I'm a Hotel General Manager of the Pearl Kuala Lumpur. The recent COVID-19 virus has strongly affected the hotel business. Like you all know, hotel is a very high labor intensive business. So our main operating expense is our staff payroll, following by the utilities like electricity and water, and facility management fees. And we pay the routine contractor to maintain our aircon, chiller plant, and also the government fees like assessment. During the Malaysia lockdown period, I think most of the Malaysia hotel have chosen to temporarily close due to we cannot serve the domestic guests, and some hotel is running a very minimal occupancy to serve the foreigner in Malaysia. So when the hotel is lack of revenue, definitely we have some cash flow problem, as we still need to continue pay to our staff, and we pay the utility and also the assessment. So what we can do is only cost control. We only can focusing cost control to reduce our operation costs. For example, like we have to close our hotel floor, and we also limiting our staff overtime working hours, and also we encouraging them to take leave to reduce our costs. Of course, we also take initiative to write in to the relevant government authority to request discount on assessment. So that's what we can do during this difficult time.
大家好，我是亮 from Big Onion Food Caterer， 我们是做自由餐的公司。有关于这个 COVID-19 呢，政府已经采取了 MRO， 对于我们公司是很大的影响。因为为了保持我们的员工的安全，我们也停止了营业。所以员工的第一个问题就是说问，其实他们的salary 有没有影响到？我们就跟他讲说，你们3月的 salary 是没有影响，是会准时进入你们的户口。问题是说，如果这个 MRO extend 到4月的话，我们中小型的企业家会怎么办？ 一大部分我们的现金流就是留在开支，在 salary、EPF、rental、income tax、SST loan 还有 utilities。在这方面呢，我们希望政府可以协助我们在这一方面的现金流。第一呢，是说我们2019的 income tax 可以 defer 到6个月，还有给我们的分期付款。还有在2020的 income tax 我们希望可以减那个 tax rate 呢可以 reduce 到58%。还有我们就是说 exemption of SST EPF from April 到12月2020。Utilities 跟 rental 呢，我们也希望给一个58%的折扣，也是从4月到12月。这方面呢，又可以给我们那个足够的现金流来把公司再撑住。我们也希望政府可以给我们一个 soft loan with no collateral，and then 这个 loan 是28% of 我们 turnover with an interest rate of 3%， 还有那个 repayment 是5年。这一方面呢，是给我们有那个多余钱来投资在公司里面，把公司的 efficiency 做好。我们会invest 在那个 digital technologies， 还有那个for automation 这一方面呢，就可以把我们公司做得更加 sustainable 跟 growth。
Hi, salam sejahtera to all F&B friends. I am Hisham Tan, President of the Malaysian Food and Beverage Executives Association, better known as MAFBIA. The F&B business owners are greatly impacted by COVID-19. Loss of footfall in the restaurants has resulted in loss of revenue, and this in turn creates a domino effect, risking the livelihood of all personnel in the front line and back of house. As of now, some have been told to take unpaid leave. Overtime has been cut, and even loss of jobs for many. MAFBIA would like to suggest a few initiatives for business owners to explore. We would recommend business owners to consider upskilling their staff through training. In short term, the Malaysian Food and Beverage Executives Association as qualified trainers can be roped in to conduct trainings. Moving forward, the association will work as an intermediary to identify institutions who are able to provide these short-term training courses. We will also be talking to the Ministry of Human Resource for their input on how to make this work, whether it is through providing trainers or funding from MOF or HRDF to conduct and facilitate these trainings. This will help in staff retention, and in the end, business owners will have staff who are better skilled. For the staff, these certified short-term courses will add to the value and create a positive impact in their career growth to move up the ladder. Next, we will propose to business owners to collaborate with the prospect of merging each other's businesses. This will help them to sustain their business while reducing operating costs via shared overhead costs and manpower. The collaboration of two different brands may create a new business model and in turn may convert into a franchise business. Others with centralized kitchen can merge with other kitchens or business owners to reduce operating costs. Innovation is key to survive and sustain in the next few months until the economy recovers. To reduce further operating costs, MAFBIA would like to assist business owners with their purchasing needs. With prescribed terms through the list of links association supplier will lower the cost of overall operations. Think of it as a central purchasing department for a few business owners instead of one. MAFBIA can assist in connecting the dots. Work with us for both short and long-term benefits. Yes, it may sound easy when saying all the above, but why not take this opportunity to discuss among the business partners or even shareholders to analyze the possibilities. Business is all about solving people's problem at a profit. Let's work together to overcome this. Lastly, please stay safe and healthy by observing personal hygiene at all times and observing the MCO to curb the spread of COVID-19.
In my opinion, I think there are a couple of measures that the government can introduce immediately, such as following the footsteps of the French government, where all rent, utilities and tax installments are frozen. This immediately provides cash flow relief to all businesses. In an era of crisis such as now, cash is king. It's the air that allows us to breathe while we live to fight on. Next will be to help us with the pressure of keeping our staff paid while our revenue stream are being cut off by the lockdown via direct wage subsidy as executed by our neighbours Singapore and also the UK. Any amount helps at this juncture. Lastly, a blanket 6 months moratorium for all loans instead of requiring us to apply and have it approved on a case-by-case basis. It creates a massive bottleneck that strains the bank's administrative procedures. This also elevates the pressure of the landlord on any rental freeze. But I guess most important of all will be for the government to keep their communication channels open, so it's more of a two-way dialogue rather than a one-way demand from us, as I'm sure they have a lot to juggle right now, and it's how we can work out an amicable solution collectively between the government and the industry itself.
Hi, my name is Andre and I'm Managing Director of Day 1 1950 by Chef One. I've been asked to talk about the cost of running an F&B outlet, especially during the crisis time like this. Now, there's three main costs of running an F&B. One is your rental, two is your manpower cost, and three is the cost of the food you sell. Now, during this crisis, even before the lockdown, many businesses have suffered. Like for us, we suffered a 40 to 50% decrease in our sales. And as such, before the lockdown, we have planned on taking certain measures to sustain the business. The first thing we did was we wrote to our landlord requesting them for a rental rebate. We have yet to hear from them, but we are confident that they will follow suit like all other landlords. The second thing that we planned to do before the lockdown was schedule no pay leave. But before we could execute that, the MCO was announced, which makes things different now. Now the MCO is in force. According to the ruling, we need to pay our employees in full during this 14 days. We could not execute the scheduled no pay leave. As such, we have decided to trim down the overall manpower costs. We have no choice. It's the hardest thing to do, but we have to do it to sustain the business. The next thing that we need to do is to find ways of generating cash flow. Cash flow now is very important. That is our main focus at this present time. We will need to come up with promotional ideas to attract customers to come dine at our restaurant. Lastly, take advantage of all the help that we can get from our government, because at this time we need all the help that we can in order for us to survive.